How's it going, Pokemon fans? My name is Ruffled, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at loads of leaks and Pokemon rumors that I think you guys may enjoy that are really interesting. The first one is going to be a massive one. It's specifically from our boys over at Pokemon itself. They are seemingly hinting at when the next trailer is coming for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So if you guys want to know more of this information, sit back, relax. It's going to be a long video. Let's get started with the first thing. So this was posted by, Soul Silver Art in this case, and he's been breaking down this information alongside other people about when we are going to get the next trailer. And there seems to be currently a countdown, a secret countdown happening by the Pokemon company. So let's see what he says. This is not much info, but could have been big implications. This countdown is still on, and they're counting down each region. Gen 9 will be on the June 29th, which is a perfect time for a reveal. Now, I should tell you guys this right now, okay? They do this quite often. You might be confused. What am I talking about? Well, you see down here where it says visit Kanto, visit Johto. This is something they've done in the past where they post these videos promoting the different regions in Pokemon, and leading up with these, the last one that comes out in the week where, you know, it's supposed to come out is the one where a new generation gets a new trailer. They did the same thing for Sword and Shield back in 2019. This is actually a proven fact. They've done this before. So let's get into the information. The most likely thing we'll see from this is going to be the region's name and more of the map revealed, most likely. And this will probably be coming down the line. So you can see here from Mike Morris, 28, who said Gen 1 Kanto was on May 4th. You had Gen 2 Johto May 11th. Gen 3 Hoenn will be May 18th. Sinnoh May 25th. Of course, as we've seen. Unova is June the 1st, which was just posted the other day. Kalos June 8th. Alola June 15th. Galar 22nd of June. And of course, the one for the new trailer would be June 29th. But there is more information. On top of this, Samus Hunter, which, by the way, is a leaker / insider that does get information right quite often, but also can be a little bit iffy, so do keep that in mind, has said that there should be Nintendo news this month as well. They've actually said there will be a specifically Nintendo Direct around the 15th of June. And if there is a Nintendo Direct, apparently it will feature Pokemon information. So this would be the perfect time for actually, you know, for us to see more gameplay of Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, but also further details about these games that we don't really know just yet, like what's the gimmick of these games and information of that nature. So when will the Treehouse Live happen? Well, it could happen basically the second week of June alongside a new Nintendo Direct. We'll continue on. So basically, it would also make sense to have the latest trailer. It would make sense to have it at the end of this month. Why? Because if you look at the actual release schedule from, you know, Sword and Shield's promo cycle, it looked exactly like this. After the second trailer, we got something almost every month. So if you look right here, you had specifically July 8th, right? You had Gigantamax forms revealed, a bunch of news basically. June 25th was also when a bunch of news happened. June 11th was also news during the Nintendo Direct and the Treehouse Live, and June 5th was when the second trailer ever actually dropped. So we can assume then that we're going to get definitely a new trailer dropping on this day, on June 29th, for a fact. But again, keep in mind, anything could be possible here, so just remember that. But again, like I said, this has been speculated by a lot of people. I'm not alone. Even Kuro Blitz here has been saying the same thing, that it just makes sense that around June 28th to June 29th, we should be seeing this, third trailer in this case actually dropping, plus the Nintendo Direct might feature some information as well. Now, those things are not confirmed, so keep that in mind, but we continue on further. So, this leads us to a massive theory. You guys have seen probably this crystal screen. This was in the latest trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And what does this feature? Well, it features a Pokeball flying in, and a lot of people are speculating, including myself, that this is related to the game's gimmick. Now, the gimmicks in the games are things like Mega Evolutions, Z-Moves, and Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. Those are gimmicks and new features that they add in that are supposed to kind of elevate the games and add a new element of gameplay. Well, we are speculating that there may be some interesting stuff here specifically. So here's what he says. I love and hate this tease, okay? I wish it had just given us a little more. I think it's teasing the gimmick or the third legendary. If it's a dragon similar to or even the same dragon as the other two, which you guys have seen, Miraidon, Koraidon, whatever, you guys have seen what they look like, and they are dragons, by the way, for a fact. We know that because Riddler Koo, a legitimate leaker, individual who's come out with real leaks and leaked information even for these games, did say that they are going to most likely, well, guaranteed be dragon fighting and dragon electric. However, here's what's actually interesting. He's saying, what if these are scales? What we're looking right here are crystal scales, possibly, made of these shiny diamond scales. So is that what the legendary is made out of? And he says, at the same time, I think it's mostly meant to point to what the gimmick will be. I think these scales and diamonds are meant to represent looking into a multifaceted diamond's color and detail. A 3-type gimmick fits this logic, but is the third legend related to that then too? Well, we don't really know, right? So what are multifaceted? Well, it's like in this case, aspects, basically it has multiple different sides is what we're trying to imply here. So shining light into glass, diamond, and prisms can reproduce a variety of colors, all right? What if the gimmick and the third legend represents sunlight specifically, right? So unlike Sol Galeo, which was an alchemic representation of the sun, this would be the literal source of all light, the god of light, right? Like the thing that literally creates all light in the universe. Is that possibly what we're looking at right here? Well, we don't really know. And in the Scarlet Violet trailer, if you actually look at it, for some reason, both Pokemon are not facing each other like they often do. Even on the box art, they're facing away from each other for the first time, I think. Out of any Pokemon box arts, they're facing away from each other. They're facing towards the sun. The sun is on each and either opposite side of each other there, of the two guys. You can see they're facing it in the opposite direction. Are they facing towards the sun? Are we going to see the literal sun god Pokemon of sorts in this game? Well, we don't really know. He says here from Eduardo, you may also want to notice that both legendaries are shown looking at the rising sun, preluding the solar dawn that comes after the peacock's tail. This would be represented by an 8th golden legendary, which might be the Titan that is referred to the sun, you know? So what do you guys think about that? Then also, this kind of fits in with the star we've seen. So sun, or giver of light, its light can be harnessed and light shines into the gimmick gems. So this gimmick that we might have could be this crystal that you guys see right here. This crystal fits the theme perfectly. This is the most likely the gimmick, like how you have mega stones. This is going to serve the same purpose, all right? Kind of something similar to that. So is it possible that by taking the sunlight in, we can sort of like, you know, I don't know, harness the energy of the sun to actually mix together colors and make a new color for, you know, shine through these gems? Is that possible? Now, this would relate to maybe types, and the new lighting would, you know, let your Pokemon gain a temporary third type looking familiar. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because there is literally sun images everywhere on the website. On the official website, there's multiple images that point towards the sun and also to rainbows. Even here, as you can see, there's rainbows that were in Sword and Shield that also are now referenced in the ton of like the logo and stuff in Scarlet and Violet as well. So there's got to be some connection between all of them. And you can even see here like a mosaic design in the background with multiple different colors. So we continue on. So Ultra Necrozma was a light being, and even dragon type actually, but it wasn't a source of light. It just the devourer of light, the thing that takes in light, right? It literally reaped like dead and living stars, or reaped rather, basically, as being said here by Eclipse, who is another individual. He's also a Riddler who has had real legitimate leaks and even predicted and gave us correct dates for the June trailer for Scarlet and Violet. He also came out and said, Heaven, Light, Origin, praise the sun, referencing Dark Souls in this case. But what is he saying here? Maybe that the third legendary has to do with the sun specifically, and that the gimmick probably has a connection to sunlight as well, which would make a lot of sense. The only other issue is how do light and colors connect to the big theme? We know this is in these games, which 100% is time, which is past and future, right? So there is a time theme, but how does light fit into that? Well, I've said this before, but if you think about it, light and, you know, time fit perfectly. They literally are one in one, right? To be able, like for the sunlight to travel to us, it has to travel at the speed of light, right? If we as humans were able to travel at the speed of light, we could technically, you know, hypothetically, as has been theorized, maybe even time travel, right? Just there's a concept to that, right? There's an idea that that is possible. So maybe by using the power of the sun in this case, these Pokemon or the third legendary is literally able to time travel through the power of the sun. Like that's literally what causes it to be able to actually do that. And maybe this power is being harnessed by trainers using these gloves that we've seen on one of the trainers to actually be able to time travel in these games, or even give our Pokemon new future or past forms, or even something along those lines. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Let's move on to the next thing, which is also a big one. This is from Flower, who said, hey, sorry for the random DM, but I think I've got onto something here. At the end of the trailer teaser, with the crystalline background of the Pokeball, I haven't seen anyone bring it up, but I wanted to mention it to someone and see what they thought. The sound that's plays during the clip, so apparently the sound that plays during that clip is the same sound from the first phase of the evolution screen in Sword and Shield. Interesting. Now, I've listened to both of them more than a few times. I think people have initially thought this was a new type teaser, but along with that sound, I wonder if it's an evolution teaser as well. I don't know if that is the case, though. It's also entirely possible that this is just referring to the gimmick involving an evolution of possible, origin, which seems plausible as well. My bias towards wanting to know the evolution could be clouding my judgment, but it's interesting that they would include the evolution sound in the background there. That does seem a little bit strange. So, does the gimmick have anything to do with evolution? We'll have to wait and see. But this leads us into the next thing, which is from Agatha Goggles, who basically put this out. Agatha Halls, sorry, there we go. Who put this over on our Discord and specifically said, think about it. Where does the Pokeball go when it's being traded? This is the crystal background again. So, do we know this answer? Well, hear me out. There's clearly circles and a pattern in this faceted crystal-like picture. And I think it's the nod back at the random spider web that we saw in the first trailer, which you guys may remember, this spider web over here was one that we saw in the first trailer, which is very confusing. So he's speculating here that maybe a Pokeball also randomly speeding by in it as well. The same way the Pokeball moves when being traded. Think of the one place where we've never been and don't know much about. And they even showed trading in the latest trailer. The in-between. The where Pokeballs go when they're being traded. I think that this way it works in the spiderweb pattern, and the villains might finally have figured out a way to actually steal people's Pokemon and Pokeballs straight out of that dimension where traveling happens in between the spiderweb dimension, possibly giving us the ability to maybe get new forms of Pokemon by trading. So the spiderweb symbol even has an eye type of thing on it, which the Pokeball is maybe traveling through. So who knows? Let's see if that actually it does lead to something. But this leads us into another topic, which again is in Scarlet and Violet's official Japanese website design. It is very decorated as well. Details like the star are everywhere, like everywhere. And we've seen this star in the first trailer in the plaza, right? So you guys know this plaza, there's the stars, all that. Guess what? The website is filled with these stars. They're everywhere on the website. And there's also like the mosaic design. It's everywhere, right? See the star in the middle right there. Star in the middle right there as well. And of course the star in the logo. They're everywhere. So clearly there's a connection to them. Which leads us to the next thing. So the gimmick might work as following. So this is by Blaze Incineroar, who's a leak analyst as well, who says, when we activate the bracelet, the Pokeball will maybe go through a portal and be surrounded by crystal energy. It gains the crystal type and it will have no weakness for a full battle. But some Pokemon will get a third type and a form change. Is this a good idea? Now, where is he getting this from? Well, he's speculating based on the crystal Pokemon cards. These were cards that specifically had crystal forms to them, where the Pokemon would kind of crystallize for a temporary amount of time, so to say. Is it possible that that might be the case here? That certain Pokemon, maybe when they do get this crystal form, actually get like a new typing to them, meanwhile others just retain their regular one. That could be the case, but we don't really know. He also says that he thinks the evil team will kidnap a legendary Pokemon in the present and will then attach a chariot to it so they can time travel. Then something causes it to evolve into Koraidon or Miraidon, depending on the time period. After we catch it, the opposite legend will come and wreak havoc. Where the 5 forms are maybe from. So, is that possible as well? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But leads us into the bigger thing, which is, of course, as you guys may have seen, the trail, our basically rival in these games, has a bracelet and glove that we've been speculating what it is. It definitely got to do with this game's gimmick for sure. Like, it has to do with that, because even our trainer has a smaller version of that glove, just a very small version of it, that's also attached right there. So, he's been thinking here. Soul Silver's been thinking. I've been going through all, and I truly believe that this has nothing to do with the gimmick, he says, and it's just a pair of gloves we can buy for customization. However, I think our friend Nemona has the gimmick glove on her right hand. Well, interesting. So, what do we think about this? What do we think? Well, people are speculating. It could be like nothing. It could be something. But I do personally think that this glove, in this case on her, is definitely related to the gimmick. So we'll see how that turns out though. Next up is a theory that I've been having since the first trailer. I have had this theory for a long time, which is that the next games after Scarlet and Violet, well, of course, first DLC, but the next games will be Gold and Silver remakes. I think guaranteed it's going to happen. And the reason I say this is because there seems to be already a few hints towards that. So here's what he says. I haven't seen anybody mention this yet, but yeah. High chance our next Pokemon game is in Johto. Look past the orange and purple. This is on top of the mountain of other Johto hints through recent years. Still up for debate if both schools are in one version or if it's one school per version. So, what is he talking about here? Well, basically, there seems to be this non-stop connection between gold and silver in this game. You can even see on the shoulder right there of the character, they have a gold symbol for the, Scarlet version. But if you're playing Violet version, it's a silver symbol. This could definitely be hinting directly to this kind of possibility. I do think, personally, that after we get DLC next year, we're going to get the year after that, guaranteed Johto games. Like, guaranteed. No questions, No strange stuff. Guaranteed we're going to get that. At least that's what I think. Which leads us to the next thing. So, this was sent to me just very recently by, well, none else than actually the man, the myth, the legend himself, Soul Silver Art, who said, check this out. Basically, in the trailer, there is this one moment, as has been discovered here by Vitor, who specifically noticed that there seems to be a bit of a shape here in this moment in 1 minute 58. And I already pointed this out. This is actually one of the other gyms. It's like one of the first gyms we see, but there is this giant explosion and we can't see what's going on. And a lot of us are speculating that this could specifically be relating to a brand new Diglett form. But he's saying here that possibly what he sees here, if you watch the new trailer, it gives a bit of a contour and the new Pokemon's eye appears to be a mole or a hamster. So maybe we're getting a mole or hamster Pokemon in this game based on this little teaser we can see right here. So have to wait and see what we get out of that. Next up is the big information from Riddler-Ku. So this is maybe what some of you guys have been waiting for, and I'm going to get you all riled up in this. So Riddler-Ku tweeted out and said, who would you rather? Would you want me to, like, I'll be dropping information about the winner. And he put out Smoliv, one of the new Pokemon, and Pawmi, one of the new Pokemon that was just revealed. He's specifically saying here, he's going to give us more information about these two Pokemon, possibly implying that those two will get evolutions. Now, some of you guys might think, oh, well, Pawmi is a Pikachu clone, so it's not going to get an evolution. Well, maybe it is a Pikachu clone, but it also is one of the regular mammal Pokemon that we get in every Pokemon region. And the regular mammal Pokemon usually can evolve to one stage. And why would he be tweeting this unless he was going to give us some kind of information about that? Most people voted for Smoliv, so we're most likely not going to get info on Pawmi, but there is a lot of speculation by a lot of people that Pawmi most likely is going to be some form of, like, you know, going to be getting some kind of evolution. So here's what's being said here. Soul Silver says, we should have been picking Pawmi on Ku's latest poll because I think we already have some potential info about Smoliv right here. I think it may follow this inspiration and evolve into a grass fire type. There are always new type combos and I'm sure Game Freak want to introduce this gen. Well, that's one that they haven't done. Grass fire has not been done yet. So here's what Eduardo is saying. So just so you know, I would like to see a grass fire flame carrier because the ancients mostly used olive oil to keep their sacred flames burning, like the eternal flame of the Olympic Games or the sacred flame of the Jewish menorah, for example. So it is possible, just saying, that Smoliv might evolve into a grass fire type. And hey, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But keep that in mind. However, I do think that this guy, okay, I do think that Pawmi was based on these original designs for Raichu's evolution, like an evolution for Raichu, which was called Gorochu. I think it is based on that, and I think because of that, we're going to see an evolution similar to this. I am certain we're going to see this, and I could be wrong, but I do think we might see Goromi happen. I think Goromi might happen, and we might see this finally come into existence. People have been wanting Gorochu for years, and we've already seen that they are bringing back forms and IDs that they didn't do in the past, that they scrapped. They're bringing those IDs back. That's already been proven with, for example, Surfetched in Sword and Shield. That was a originally gold and silver design, which they never ended up using, and then they reused it in the future decades later. So keep that in mind. It's always possible. Also, this is all the revealed Pokemon so far in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm going to be moving my camera away from the screen so you guys can take a look at all that is in here. As you guys can see, there's quite a few Pokemon: Quaxly, Fuecoco, Sprigatito, Pawmi, Lechonk, Smoliv, also the two legendaries, Pikachu, Raichu, Venomoth. We've got loads of Pokemon listed here, as you guys can see. And again, you can pause the video if you want to take a look at any specific ones. But like I said, there's loads of them. You know, we've got Pichu in there, we've got Mareep, we've got Ampharos, Hoppip, Skiploom, you know, whatnot. We've got Blissey, we got Larvitar, Pupitar, of course, all those guys. These are all the confirmed Pokemon so far in these games, which are guaranteed to be in there. So there you go, guys. That's the information for that. Let's move on to the next thing. So Riddler-Ku posted this, which is really interesting. He says, saw these on a Chinese social media. That's why I will go for Violet. My boy has so much potential with LED display eyes. Reminder, fan theory contents. So here he's just speculating and not really saying much himself. Like, he's not like actually trying to say that this is any kind of leak, but usually with him, I think it's interesting because sometimes he could hint stuff, because he posted 4 images here, and we do know, as I've covered in a previous video, and I'll tell you guys again, we know for a fact that the 2 legendaries are going to have 5 different forms. The base form, which we've seen right now, and 4 travel forms of some sort. And it's possible that he's here trying to hint at those 4 travel forms by using, well, these 4 literal images to hint at it. Now, of course, it could end up not being the case, but I think it's interesting to still mention nonetheless. nonetheless. Which leads me into the next topic, which is this right here. So this could perfectly mean that the Pokemon Company prefers to save these free catching and camera features for the Pokemon Legends Saga. Now, what are we talking about here? Well, basically, Mari here analyzed the actual trailer and noticed that there was no overworld catching and no PLA free camera battles. I, however, think there will be free cameras, free camera-like movement within these games. Maybe there will not be, but it is possible that they're reserving that for Legends, and these games will go back to the standard rotating camera, position. However, people have noticed that there are some areas where the battle distance between you and the person you're battling is too far away, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for, it just seems like too far of a distance for you not to be able to move your camera around. However, I think we might be able to, but we'll have to wait and see if that is the case. Also, in the Scarlet and Violet official Japanese website, they show that the reservations for the game, so pre-orders, are scheduled for Thursday the 6th of August. So that's eShop pre-orders. We'll almost surely get another trailer before this date. So yes, we'll definitely get another one in June, one in July, one in August, and so on and so forth. We're definitely going to be getting a lot of trailers going forward now. Like, that's usually what happens after the second trailer drops, all the other trailers start coming through, they start happening, and we see a lot of information day by day. Next up, and this I'm going to talk further in another video about, specifically the boat symbol on the stage. Now he's speculating, well, it could be a water type gym, but maybe this is related to time. Rather than only collecting badges to reach the league and become the region's champion, maybe we're trying to beat these kind of challenges. Maybe in this one we have to, sail or something, and then we have to unlock basically the new abilities to keep discovering new areas. And I think that's going to be the case. I think they're using the Legends Arceus formula for this to have us unlock certain areas, but those areas in themselves are going to be much bigger than Legends Arceus. I think that the actual space we're going to explore in this game is going to be way bigger than we had in Legends, so just keep that in mind. Which also leads us to the next thing, which is, if Pokemon are really selling a true open world experience with Scarlet and Violet, it has to be more vast and complex than the one in PLA. We need to travel larger areas faster, and knowing the dex is limited, why not use our own Pokemon? Game Freak has already given resources for that, so of course, we'll see if that's going to be the case. We'll see how that turns out. And this is going to be for the next video right here, which I'm going to be covering tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. And if you have any thoughts, opinions, let me know in the comment section, and I shall take a look at it, later on. So, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.